Hi guys, how are you?
Good,
Hi,
how are
we're
you?
good.
Are you doing great? So to start, I want to ask, we're told every time as kids, don't go into strangers' houses. So I do love that the whole premise of this movie is hinged on these two girls being like, well, I'm gonna go in this man's house because it's kind of what we're told. When you
Yeah.
as actors are put into that position and it is, not only the religious trauma aspect and everything else that this movie kind of has, how is it when you have to do things like that where you're like, well, me as a person knows don't do that, but this character is doing it and I have to kind of do what they do.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I went on a mission, because I think in another life I did go on a mission, I think I would have more of a Paxton and Barnes mentality.
Yeah.
I don't know, it doesn't seem too foreign to me. Like, I have a lot of friends who do solar sales too and do door to door sales. But it does seem very old fashioned to go knock on someone's door, but still happens all the time, but it wouldn't be my knee-jerk reaction to get into a stranger's house. Yeah, especially
Yeah.
after the
I think
movie.
it's just about thinking about the missionary mentality and
Yeah, yeah.
how Barnes can tell that Paxton really wants to convert him after her being like slightly humiliated.
Yeah.
And he's doing his best to be as charming as possible and lure them in. So he's winning with that so far. So they're brought in and they think that, yes, the wife will show up, and that is a lie.
Yeah.
You're like, and that doesn't happen.
And then
Um,
just
Yeah. It's
with
not.
horror as a genre, I think it's so obviously right now is like the big horror season because it is around Halloween. But we've also had like a string of very, very good horror movies within the last couple of years.
yeah.
What for you guys is the most fun about not only a horror movie coming out, but like the audience getting to see it and react to it now that you guys can like hear what their response is to something like Heretic.
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, like I
Yeah.
think seeing movies at a festival in general are super exciting, and then and just seeing a active audience. I mean, I always love going to the New Beverly here because the audience is so passionate about the movie they're
Yeah.
watching, and they actually want to watch and they're engaged. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, Sophie, I think the only time I've ever seen a group of journalists freak out more was when we watched the Boogeyman in theaters because the entire room
Oh.
was like not having it. This movie also has like those elements, and it's like a different, uncomfortable kind of scary, which I think is
Very
fun to
different.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you are doing all those different levels of horror, because this is like the belief versus the disbelief, and like testing your faith and all that has a different place in your body horror wise. How much fun is it for you guys as actors to kind of figure out where the frights of a certain movie might fit in with you as an actor?
I feel like this is far more terrifying to me because it's more psychological and it's questions that I've asked myself naturally. So I think I was trying to not play too hard into that, whereas with, doing like a monster movie, it's far more of your imagination. You get to have a little more fun with it, and um, I'm grown up enough to know that there's not a monster in my closet. But then with these kind of questions that this movie is imposing on us, it's very real and it's kind of lending itself to this impending sense of doom and an existential crisis. So I tried not to, I mean, of course, I'm like present there in the scene, but I tried not to, no matter what, take it home with me.
Yeah, and I do want to ask you guys, so it is pretty much a one location place, and I think that it makes it more fun to kind of watch because you're just in this house and you're kind of stuck in there. How is it when you're on set and you're in one location? Is it easier to wrap your head around, or do you kind of wish you could be all these different places in a movie?
I feel like I always dream of shooting people used to ask me what my dream job was, and my answer used to be like a sitcom on a soundstage that runs forever.
No!
Because it's like the stability of
Yeah,
it
there's
and
stability,
like
yeah.
going to work at the same time, temperature control. I mean, I'm shooting something right now that I am just praying to be in a sound stage because of how hot it has been. And so, but there is something about the routine you get in, and especially with the material, it's so intense and there's a lot of dialogue. It's nice to not have to, we could really just kind of sit in this. It's like we were shooting on a boat, and like, you know, there's nowhere to go but here, and no one else to talk to but us, and we could get really close to everyone really easily and really focus on the agenda of the movie.
Yeah, I can't wait for everyone to get to see Heretic so we can all talk about it. But thank you guys so much for talking with me today. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
Have a good
you.
day.
Thanks.
Guys, have a great one.